Well, I got to tell you, boys, man, it is great to be back here in the Lion's Den this week.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Got a short minute there, huh?
It's been.
How'd everybody's Valentine's go? Did you guys make it up to the old ladies there or what? What about the Rhinestone Romeo over here? The Maina. I mean, he had honeymoons and every damn thing else going on.
Well, like the rest of my... No, I'm just kidding. What I was going to say is that wife was working, so not much got
boy,
done.
you got every friggin'... You know what? You got more excuses than Carter's got pills, bro.
She just got back. She got
Yeah.
back from surgery and couldn't choose her own schedule, so she couldn't go to Valentine's Day.
Oh, so you couldn't pick an off day to do something? You suck, Mike.
Dude, he's still waiting to do a damn honeymoon.
I know,
That's
bro.
true.
He's been talking about a honeymoon for 12 years.
Jeez.
It will happen.
Dude, the honeymoon is over, and if you don't get your shit straight on Valentine's Day, it ain't never going to happen.
No, I made sure to get her a gift.
Oh, well, yeah, let's hear this.
Go to
Okay,
dinner.
what was the gift? Let's
Yeah,
hear
you
this.
naked with a
Come
bow
on,
ain't
I
a
mean-
gift for her.
Well, let me ask you this. Was it pretty spendy? Was it pretty spendy?
I don't know. You were there when I bought it.
Was I?
It was that coffee maker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me tell you guys this
Oh,
story.
my
Oh,
God.
shit. This is hilarious.
Might as well got a vacuum.
So I take the Maina with me and the wife over to BJ's Wholesale. We do a little shopping, right? Because we're going to pick up some food because we've been eating better and working out and all this other shit, all the goodies. And we're walking by this section. It's got all these coffee makers. And he's telling the wife and I about how his wife wanted this coffee maker, but there's no way in hell it was way too expensive. It was $350.
It was a mixer. It was a cake mixer. It was like a something that chefs would
she
use to
wanted
cook
something.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
she wanted
Too
something that
expensive.
was like 350 bones.
Not
right?
worth it. Not
and
worth
Mike's like, "Yeah, I'm not spending that kind of money." So he reaches down and he grabs his coffee maker. He goes, "I'll get her this. She's been wanting a coffee maker, right?" So we were out. We're doing all this shopping and shit. We get to the register. He pulls it out and realizes that the coffee maker that he picked up that he thought was $68 was how much, Mike?
I was like 175.
Oh! And I mean, at that point, he's already committed, right? He's already
I was
committed.
already committed.
So he bought the $175 coffee maker, man. I looked at him. I said, boy, if this is not him, I don't know what it is. I mean, the guy doesn't read
Story of
shit.
my life. Story of my life.
No,
He sees this sign that says $65, and he takes the one off the bottom rack instead of the one off of the top rack.
Oh, I mean, it was a Ninja coffee maker.
Oh, Ninja.
A Ninja. And it makes iced coffee.
Man, no expense, Mike.
Makes
The
all
main
iced
spares
coffee.
no expense.
I don't drink much coffee, so I was like, if I can make iced coffee and get it for myself, that's a good deal.
I thought it was for your wife.
It is.
I mean, dude,
She drinks coffee more than I do.
I pray to God she's not listening to this right now. If I could make myself iced coffee, I'm going to do it.
Good
Dude,
night.
that's like, why don't you just buy her a chainsaw, Mike? Then again, I can't say that because
I
she'd
bought
actually be the one to use it.
Well, you know, Candy
I was
would
saying,
want
I
one.
bought-
Yeah, my wife would want one. Handy candy, yeah.
I bought Marnie a was it circular saw? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
She
three-piece
loved it.
bathroom
She loved
set.
it. She's like,
I'm not allowed to use these sausages in the house.
Man, y'all
Not for working on
You
stuff
never,
anyway.
you never sausage a thing.
Yeah, never sausage a thing.
y'all buying all this fancy stuff. I just made my wife the queen of my double wide trailer.
Did you?
Hell yeah.
Shit, boy, you ain't got no double wide.
Yeah.
double wide.
That's a trip, man.
He
Ain't
was
that
over there. He
triple
was
wide,
over
ain't
at the house the other night. Ray's over at the house the other night. We're watching something, and he says something about, yeah, I was. You were talking about going to Disney and
To the cabins.
going to the
yeah.
cabins and basically their trailers, right? And he's like, yeah, people come here to vacation. And he looks at his daughters and says, you guys live in one of these all year round. I said, boy, you don't live in no damn trailer. You live in a modular home. There's a big difference.
I said, man, people pay money to come live like us.
The shit that comes out your mouth, I swear, man.
Hey, it's always entertaining.
The world according to Ray.
That's it.
You know?
You
Freddie,
better-
you ain't been around long enough, man. You got to get these boys straight.
You better
I mean,
redneck and eyes.
I can tell you about some modular.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. So we know the Maina struck out with a coffee maker.
No, I didn't strike out.
Oh, you didn't strike out, huh? How'd it go?
You can't go wrong with a ninja.
So give our listeners a little bit of a taste of the, what's the word I'm looking for here? What am I looking for, Ray? Of how you presented this coffee maker on this
The
romantic
presentation.
Valentine's. How'd you present it to the wife?
Here's the Maynard to present the Valentine's Day coffee report.
It was wrapped. She opened it up before she went to work.
All right, now how was it wrapped, though? Was it in a Target bag? Or
No. No, I had my mother-in-law do it.
So it looked good.
I can't rap with the shit.
Oh,
So,
man.
but yeah, no, it was good. She's like, it wasn't the exact response I was expecting.
Yeah, no shit. It was a damn coffee maker.
Well, it's because all right. So we've had the same one since we moved from Maine. We've had the same coffee maker. It's ready to go. It's a piece of shit. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll get her something. She it's good for tea. It's good for all this
so
other
romantic.
things. I was thinking of her.
Yeah.
On the way to
Maynard,
get food at
Maynard.
BJ.
Yeah.
Maynard.
Let me give you a bit of advice. I had to
Okay,
learn
give
this the
me
hard
some
way 'cause,
advice.
I've been in this game longer than you.
All right, go ahead.
Going on 25. You know what I'm saying? You're like a young pup in this shit, right? I'll never forget one time my wife and I were talking, and she kept on talking about how she wanted a dishwasher and she wanted this and she wanted that. And so one day we were in the store, and I said, hey, either birthday, anniversary, something was coming up.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I said, well, you've been talking about you want a dishwasher or what, a fridge or whatever. And she stopped cold in her tracks, and she looked me dead in the eye. And she said, let me just tell you this. Do not ever buy me an appliance or a tool that represents work as a gift.
That's not work. That's coffee.
And I said, well, I said to her, well, you've been saying you want one. She goes, yeah, if you want to get the house a dishwasher, you want to get the house a vacuum, you get that. But don't buy those as gifts for me. Okay.
That makes sense.
And so, so it's an appliance, Mike,
Well,
okay?
all right.
I'm saying?
So what
There's
I
no
used to give her-
romance involved. Did you
Well-
get her a bag of Brazilian coffee or anything like that to go with it?
Well, no.
He couldn't afford it. The damn thing was 175 pounds.
I had no more money left. No, so normally
You should have been there. It was man. If I could have videoed that shit, when you see the look on his face when he realized it was 175 bones, I about died.
I was like, shit, I'm halfway there.
He's like, you
What
could
she
have
wanted
bought
originally.
her the friggin' mixer she wanted. You would have been a hero.
No, because
Cheap bastard.
So normally for Valentine's Day, I get her the gold-plated roses.
Oh yeah,
And
gold-plated.
right now I think we're almost at a dozen from all the years we've been together, and anniversaries and Valentine's Day and birthdays every now and
You
then.
might as well start back at 1 now.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like I just got. I was like, I tried it.
You make the dream
I'll figure it
come
out.
true. Too.
I just think next year we just got to plan better.
So-
We're going to make it a priority to make it so she's off, I'm off, and
So-
we actually do something together.
Now you blaming it on the fact she
So,
had to
Mike,
work.
let
You
me
got
give
to
some
work, so
advice
all
for
you baby, you got to work, so all you getting is a damn coffee
mixer.
maker.
Wait, Merry Christmas. Happy anniversary. Happy Valentine's.
If you could,
I won't even tell you what the coffee maker is right now.
if you'd have had the day off, baby, you'd have got that
Unopened.
mixer.
It's on. It ain't even been opened.
Don't even open.
Ain't even been- Yeah, that was a real hit there, guy. Way to go.
Nailed
So,
it.
let me ask you a question. So all these gold-plated roses, where
Yeah.
are they?
They're in our bedroom.
Doing what?
Just sitting
Where
there.
they at?
Collecting
So they're in
dust.
a place that nobody else can see them.
Yeah, but they don't die. If
I
I
mean,
buy
wow.
regular roses,
Dude,
no, they could be seen
they're not even on display. Let's keep it real.
in my bedroom.
Do better, Mike. Do better.
Do better.
Uh,
Mind your business, John.
Yeah, mind your business. Yeah, that's true.
That's none of your business.
see, I was smart, man. I did exactly what she wanted.
That is smart.
She wanted a silver necklace with a tiny little diamond pendant on it, and I spent less money than Mike did, and I got laid.
I got laid too.
No, you not on Valentine's. You did.
Not on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, way to go, Romeo.
Oh, shit.
Everybody else.
How's
is
that
getting-
working out for you? Note to self: coffee maker's not the best romantic gift.
You know what I'm gonna do this weekend? I'm gonna bring it back to BJ's and I'm gonna get her that mixer, and
Wow.
and replace it.
Mike, let me tell you something, buddy. That is not going to solve the problem.
It is gonna
A
solve the
mixer
problem.
is not going to solve the problem.
That's the only thing she wanted.
That's not what she wants for Valentine's Day, fool.
Valentine's Day's over.
What a dumbass. I love you, dude. I
Get
do.
on with the show. Leave
I
me
love
alone.
you.
So
I
what
love
you're
you.
saying
Mind your
is you got her nothing for Valentine's Day then.
Dude, you make it our business. That's a problem.
You brought it up. I didn't say shit.
Because you drugged me into it when you did that stupidity shit with me out shopping with my wife. How do I defend that? I mean, my wife's looking at me like, you hang out with this guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, man, I love you, dude. I do
I'm
love
her
you.
little brother.
You trying to save him.
I try. I try like hell. I throw this guy a life raft, and he flips me the bird and just keeps on around. I don't get it.
He turns into an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah, he does.
What should I do, Jay? What should I do? All right, I ain't going to do
I ain't
that.
gonna do that. That sounds stupid.
But I like what Mike brought up. He said, mind your own business.
Yeah, that's just it.
And that's pretty much what we're talking about today.
Well,
Eventually.
ain't none of my
Eventually.
none of my business. That's what we're
20
talking.
minutes in, we get into it.
True.
Well, it's funny because when you say that, it used to be back when we were coming up. People would tell you, mind your own business, right?
Right.
Don't be dipping in another man's Kool-Aid if you don't even know the flavor, right? Stay in your own lane. Don't get involved in other people's business. But we also had an unwritten code, though, back then, that when we saw things that weren't right or things that shouldn't be happening, that's when a man needs to take action and do something.
Right.
And what we're going to talk about this week on the podcast is the fact that we got too many people saying that ain't none of my business.
Right.
About things that should be your business.
Yep.
And go ahead.
One of the biggest things that jumps in my mind is just everybody videoing everything nowadays.
Well, it's funny. It's none of my business to do anything, but it's all about my business to get them likes on Instagram and and Facebook and whatever.
Show those reels.
Yeah. And that just
TikTok
blows my mind.
I mean, it's gotten to a place, guys, where it's almost, if you would have told us 20 years ago that people would be doing the things that they're doing today, you would have looked at them and said, "Yeah, right. That's bullshit. That would never happen."
Right.
Because there was, like I said, there was an unwritten code, a man code that, the simplicity. If you're a dude and you saw a girl being assaulted in broad daylight, it was a given that men are supposed to step up and do something.
Right. Well, hell, even if you saw two guys going at it, and one guy's literally getting his ass beat hardcore, you step in and you stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, look, you
enough
is enough.
You don't want murder charges on top of what you're doing.
Now it ain't none of my business.
Ain't none of my
Got
business.
the phone up, watching the whole damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm gonna get likes.
Videoing it. Hey, man, ain't none of my business. Okay, yeah, laughing. World star, man, world star.
It ain't none of my business unless it gets me hits.
I think that's where it started. Was World Star. World Star Hip Hop. I
World
remember them
Star.
saying World Star. You're going to World Star.
What is that?
It was a website. It was just a website where people would just post videos of
A lot of fights and stuff
going
like
on.
that.
Yeah.
People assaulting people. But I mean, it's gotten bad, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm only going to
In
use
school,
this as
too.
an example. I mean, like New York City, for instance. I mean, take the subway.
Oh yeah, I just
There
saw
are
one
people
today.
being mugged in broad daylight on the subway.
Mm-hmm.
Women being sexually assaulted, females being physically assaulted, elderly being assaulted, and people are sitting there watching this shit laughing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it ain't none of my business. No, it is your business. It's funny. The law states that if I'm standing there watching a girl get raped, I'm just as culpable as a person that's raping her.
Damn.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go to jail for that shit. But yet these people will stand there and watch somebody get beat to the ground, a 60, 70-year-old man or a woman, and videotape it and think the shit's funny.
Didn't in Florida there's a homeless guy, a couple kids killed, actually ended up killing a homeless guy?
Killed a homeless guy.
And somebody just sat there and videotaped it?
Yep.
Well, there's also a video that went out with somebody videotaping 2 kids drowning.
Oh, that's right.
They're on the damn shoreline, videotaping, watching these kids drown. I mean, I just have a question for the dudes out there. Where the hell y'all at, man?
Yeah. Truth.
Where are the men?
I mean, where the hell you boys at? Because you know what? I mean, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not the biggest thing walking. I'm not the toughest guy walking. But I can tell you one thing. If I'm out in a public place and I see a woman get physically assaulted, somebody's getting smacked.
Yep.
Well, it's straight up evil, man.
And
What's
that's
good
just,
is evil.
I mean, it's just, that's something that's ingrained in you. And I think that's the problem with our culture today is like, there's just certain things that aren't ingrained in young men anymore. Like,
no.
There are more boys hiding behind girls than there are guys stepping up defending them.
Truth.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
That is true. That is true. Like you were saying, there's been times where I put myself in imminent danger. I'm talking potential major ass whooping, and beyond, to stop what was going on because it wasn't right. So I was willing to put myself in danger to protect the person, the innocent, basically. But like you said, that's just not ingrained in people anymore.
I mean, when you see something, an injustice that's happening, if you're going to stand there and watch it, you are a coward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a dude listening to this podcast right now, I'm just going to tell you straight up, man. If you're watching this shit go on and you think, A, it's funny, first of all, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're a freaking coward. For any man to watch somebody get assaulted and just stand there and watch it and think it's cute, funny, or just too damn chicken shit to do something, you're a coward, man. You're cowardly.
I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get touched.
Those are the excuses.
Here's the thing too.
I know.
Even say you're not physically capable of doing anything. Draw attention to
authorities,
the act.
Exactly, yeah.
Draw attention to it. Speak out, yell, scream. Try to get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
Try to find a man who's willing to step in and help.
Oh, yeah.
Don't just sit there and video it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a video of this woman getting beat up on the subway. It was like a video. This dude just literally just kept assaulting her big time. And one guy goes to try to help out, and as soon as the guy turns towards him to intervene, the guy runs away. He's like, I'm not getting involved in this. And then he goes back to beating her again.
Well, I got something I got to say out there to the ladies that are listening to this podcast too. You know, this is where this shit gets crazy. You know, and you're part of the problem. If you've got a guy that's physically abusive to you, and another man steps up to help you, and you're stupid enough to attack that guy because you love your boyfriend,
seen those videos too.
Man, there is something wrong with you. You're part of the problem. You are absolutely feeding this frenzy. You're pouring gasoline on a fire that's burning out of control. And, you know, you're creating this narrative where men today are like, I ain't getting involved because the last time I helped a woman out, she turned around and jumped on my back. I mean, Ray, you were telling a story about that happening to you, didn't it?
Yeah, I lived that one. Was at a party, and this guy smacking his girl around, and then pulled back with a closed fist. I jumped in, started meleeing on him. Next thing you know, there's somebody smacking, hitting me in the back of the head. So I reach up, grab the person, bring him over in front of me, and it's the girlfriend. Jeez. And she's yelling at me, "You asshole! That's my boyfriend! I love him, you son of a bitch!" And she's swinging at me. I'm like,
I mean, come on, man.
You guys deserve each other.
I did. I got up and looked at her and went, "Y'all are perfect for each other." And I walked away.
This is the shit that happens, though, and then we wonder why guys say, "Well, I ain't gonna get involved." It's like because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And and you take the physical aspect out of it, and that's the other thing too. You see these relationships where, somebody's got a boyfriend that mistreats his girlfriend, or a girlfriend that mistreats the boyfriend, and then somebody steps in and stands up for that person. And next thing you know, they end up getting back together, and the person that stood up for them, now they're being ostracized. They don't want nothing to do with them anymore.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? As a man, you got to be willing to take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because well, you don't want to be in that toxic environment anyway. I mean, you want to be around people. But the problem is, it's like I always, there's always drama in relationships, right? And you always, you hear from the wife or the wife's friends or whatever, this is going on or that's going on. And I've always lived off of the premise of I don't take sides because there's two sides to every story, and then the truth is in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like both, get all the liars in one room and find out who's telling the truth. And, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors but the two people that live in there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I always live off of the premise, look, I'm not going to get involved in he's right, she's wrong, vice versa. I'm on your side. I'm team this, you're team that. No. I always try to stay right there in the middle. I don't try to get involved. But in the same token, if one of my brothers came to me,
brings you into it,
brings me into it,
that's what
it involves me into it, then we have a conversation. Like, hey, hey, bro, this is what I think, and whatever you're doing, I don't agree with. Vice versa, same thing with the female. If it was a female friend of mine or a family member, and I got involved, and if I felt like what she was doing was wrong, they were asking my advice or my opinion, I would share that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but.
Well, that's it. Like you said, you have that conversation. You don't take sides. You don't be a bobblehead. You cannot be a bobblehead in that situation. You have to be completely open-minded. So when he says, she did this, and that, that's when you look at your boy and go, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you do? You're telling me everything she's doing. What did you do?
You're not always innocent.
You're
part of the problem.
Dude, there's two sides to every story.
Three.
I mean,
three. His side, hers, and the truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
But I mean, these are the other thing too is we also we've talked about it on this show too. Transcending into the family aspect.
Oh yeah.
When you get into mixed families, you can have the mentality of that ain't none of my business when it comes to your stepkids.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that knows me and the guys that are on this podcast that have mixed families, they know where my stand is. They ain't your stepkids; they're your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play that step shit because my father's been married to 3 different women. There's 13 of us total between full, half, and step brothers and sisters, and they're all my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can't have the mentality of that's not my problem, they're not my kid, because it's going to become your problem real quick, especially if they're living in your house.
Oh, yeah. Well, not even just with stepkids, but with your own kids. There's a lot of people out there that, he's responsible for the discipline. That's not my problem.
Mm.
So kids come home, got into a fight at school. Wait till your dad gets home. He's the one responsible for it. No, that's a team effort.
Yeah, you got to work together on that.
Whenever
one.
kids are involved, it's got to be a team effort.
Well, yeah, we get in this mentality sometimes in relationships where, well, that's what he does and that's what she does. No, it's what we do.
Right.
And that's where families get in trouble because one person on one side of the fence is saying one thing, one person on the other side is saying another. And essentially what you're saying is that's not my problem.
Yep.
That's none of my business. Well, it is your business because eventually it's going to become your business.
Yeah, we've had that at my house. Where like,
well, I mean, yeah, you got a mixed family, right?
Yeah, I got a mixed family. Yeah, I got a mixed family, and the dad is. The good news is the dad is always around, which is great because it's not like if he wasn't around, it'd be like, yeah, he's my son. Like he's definitely my son because the dad's nowhere to be found and he needs a father figure. But he's got both of us, and it's one of those ones where we caught ourselves. There's a couple times I said, well, that's Jay and Marnie's problem. You know what I mean? Like that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it becomes your problem, doesn't
exactly. Oh yeah, it became my problem. Yeah. But yeah, it's just.
But I mean, how many people just being honest, and I'm not just talking about myself, but I know that Ray and Freddie have also had these conversations. We've all had them in here. How many men have you met in your life that have had that conversation with you and said that to you? Like, hey, bro, that is your problem.
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
aren't your stepkids; those are your kids. I mean, how many other guys other than us have ever really
I mean, it's rare. I mean, you're not I've heard this term before. It's called wise counsel. It's like you have people that you go to that you trust, that knows in your beliefs, knows in where you're at in your marriage, knows where your kids are at, and they give you wise counsel. They don't because they love you. It's because they care about you. It's not about just that they're just trying to figure out what's going. Like I've had bobblehead friends. I've had friends that I tried to tell stuff to, and they could give two craps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say craps. Here's shit. Give two shits. I'm trying to edit myself.
Yeah, you edit yourself ever since you dropped the F-bomb a couple times.
That was the last
Here's
show.
another. Someone said something.
Hello?
Anyway, but the bottom line though is that when you make it somebody's business, then it is their business.
Yeah.
So for instance, if you come to me and you talk to me, you say, "Hey, John, this is what I'm going through. What are your thoughts on this?" I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And what people realize about me, and I always joke around and say, you love me or you hate me, because I'm the type of dude that you're going to ask me a question. If you want me to tell you, I'm going to tell you. And I'm not going to sit here and kiss your ass and blow sunshine up your ass to make you feel good about yourself.
Exactly. Tell you what you want to hear. No, because you what you need to hear.
Well, because real love is grounded in truth.
The truth.
Right? And I don't want that from you guys either. I mean, I don't want that from the people that are in my circle just to tell me whatever I want to hear. And we've had tough conversations in here.
Right? Oh, yeah.
And there have been things that I've sat here and told you guys about my life, and I've told you guys straight up, hey, I was wrong, 100% wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I own it. And you got to own it. And you got to have your brothers and people in your life that are willing to say, hey, it is my business.
Yep.
It becomes when you make it my business, it becomes my business, and then I owe you because I love you the truth.
Right.
Yep.
And the problem is we don't live in a culture and a society that's grounded. People would rather you lie to them than tell them the truth.
Yeah. Everybody gets a trophy.
And so when people get that mentality, hey, ain't none of my business. I don't care. Do what you want to do. You do you, man. You do you. It's not my problem.
Oh, I hate that term.
But it's going to become your. Listen, it's going to become your. If you really truly love somebody, it's ultimately it's going to become your problem, because here's what you look at. Okay, if any one of you guys is in an unhealthy environment or an unhealthy relationship, it's going to affect you, which is going to affect me.
Yeah.
That's just life, right?
Yep.
And what we find is men is a lot of times when we're affected, most men shrink and they disappear.
Yep.
I mean, Freddie will tell you, there are times out of the blue, I'll give him a call. Just out of the blue, hey, brother, just calling.
I like it.
I say, hey, how you doing? And he'll say to me, oh, I'm doing great. I'll tell him, don't bullshit me.
Oh, yeah. Tell me the truth.
Because I said, there's a reason why the big man's told me to call you.
Yep.
And, or
Holy Spirit phone call.
Yeah, it's like, bro.
Holy Spirit touch.
For whatever reason, I just wanted to call and tell you I love you and I care about you and whatever's going on. But because it is my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you have that as a man inside of you to just waken something inside of you that says, hey, I better give this dude a call.
Yeah.
Well, dude, you better be ready to pick up the phone and you better be ready to make it your business. And we've all had guys in our lives that we've interacted with and we've said, hey, how's it going? What's going on? And they come out and said, hey, man, I'm struggling, or I got this going on, or the marriage, or whatever. And you know what? You got to make it. The person is always going to be about the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to care about you, and if I care about you, you are my business. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And we got this mentality where in this culture today, like we want to put on blinders and act like we don't see the shit that's going on around us because we don't want to deal with it.
Right.
And you know what? That's the reality. Is most people don't want to be bothered with it.
I've done that before. Too many times.
That's not love, dude.
No.
That is not love.
Nope.
Yeah. I was thinking of a different kind of aspect of, mind your business, make it your business, so on and so forth. I've got a buddy of mine who been divorced for quite a while and tried to do the 50-50, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But the kids wouldn't come over every time because he's a house of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And the other house is not a house of discipline. Now the kids, now the kids are really, really struggling. He's tried to make it his business and has been gotten the old, stiff arm the whole time. And now he feels completely helpless. He's like, what? There's nothing I can do. Legally, he can't do anything to change that. And there's just so much going on, and I feel so bad for him that he's truly trying to make the growth of his kids his business, and is not being allowed, not being let in to do it.
I guess at the end of the day, it comes down to you got to fight the fight.
Yeah.
That's a painful thing about war, right? It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be casualties in war. There's going to be scars. There's going to be wounds. There's going to be all kinds of things that go on. And we used to have our old podcast. We called it the battle, right? We're in the midst of the battle right now. We're waging war, right? You've got to wage war on your own insecurities. You got to wage war on your own preferences, your own comforts, and you've got to say, you know what, regardless of what response I get, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing because that's what I've been called to do. As fathers, we don't have the luxury to make those decisions. The decisions that we make have to be outside of ourselves. And, right, wrong, or indifference, there's a lot of men out there that quit or give up because they want to find justification. There's no justification for quitting and giving up as a father. Zero. And whether they take it, they accept it, or they want it, you just keep pressing, you keep pressing. Because at the end of the day, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to ask yourself some really tough questions. Did I do everything that I could possibly within myself to be the best version of myself? Did I pursue my children? Did I love my children? Was I there even when they didn't want me to be there? And if you can say yes to all those things, then you're good. The problem is that, we get to a point where we go, well, you know what? They don't want me to be in their life, so it's none of my business. No, it is your business. They're your children. The other thing part of that, too, is that guys have to understand that our job is to pursue our kids, not our kids to pursue us. And I'm not even in a divorced family. I've got my kids that live at the house, or they've grown up with their mother and I, and it's a battle every day there. And you guys know, even you two dudes in here, Freddie and the Maynard, you guys may have mixed family, but you even know with your joint kids, it's a struggle.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had conversation in here that, we've talked about situations in my life, and I think it was Freddie said, he said, man, the things you're describing, the battles you face are kind of the same battles I face, and those are actually you guys as kids together. You know what I mean? And so the battle is real, and it happens, and it's not just based upon certain circumstances. It's just in everything that we do. It's in everyday life. We have to choose to make it our business. And we have to be about the business, because at the end of the day, that's all we've got as men. And as I sit here and we think about the podcast tonight, and we're talking about ain't none of my business, I'm going to be honest with the men that are listening to this podcast right now. It's heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking to think that a man could stand by and watch the things that are going on in our culture today and decide it ain't none of my business. It is your business. It's your business, and you need to be about the business. I get so sick and tired of hearing about how these young men are like this, and these young men don't do this, and these young men. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? Forget about you. I'm going to talk about me for a second here. What the hell am I doing to help these young men to be better, to do better? Am I standing on the sidelines, putting up blinders and making excuses, pointing fingers and saying, well, that's not my problem, that's not my business? Well, guess what, man? It becomes our business every single day of our lives, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in our homes, whether it's in the church, whether it's in our inner circles, our friends and families, These things go on every single day, and it is a situation where men have to make it their business. So I would just say tonight that if you listen to this podcast and you've been putting on these blinders, take them off. Open your eyes, open your hearts. And when you do that, my friends, well, hell, that's where the rubber meets the road.